Hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Hello, guys and gals. How are we doing today? Let me see. All right. Pull this over here. Let me get Instagram going. There we go. Substack is going, but I want to be able to pull it up so I can see it. There we go. I can see, I should say, see the three Substackers already. Excellent. Yep. 1 second, guys. Bam. There we go. Hello, Ashley. Ashley number 2. Ashley bis will make you French. All right, guys. We're good on this front. Let me get to, actually, TikTok I already have ready to go. I just have to push the button. I was very good today. I got all of that set up behind the scenes so I could actually just start the thing. All right, hang on. Oop, that's for my glasses. I don't need that during the show. Doop. All righty. Bam. Switch the angle. And TikTok should be good. All righty. There we go. Excellent. Hello, Ashley. Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. John Rivos is here. All is well. We've got a lot of news today. So we'll be doing our thing. I got a haircut. My hair was bothering me. It was getting long. I like it long and curly, but it's just, especially summertime, actually winter too, it's just, you know, curly hair, a lot of fun for everybody else, not a lot of fun for yourself. But yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's fine. But I like it long and curly, but it just gets to be a pain in the ass. So anyway, good evening all. So yeah, welcome. I'm John Rivos. We're going to talk about the latest news. We've got a lot of, obviously, Iran news. We've got a lot of other news too. A lot of election news, a lot of polls I'm going to talk about. Trump is in so much trouble on the polls, so much trouble on polling. Like several different polls we're going to talk about today. He's, thank God, he's possibly doing worse than any president in all of modern American history. In other words, in the history of polling, Trump, it looks like, is doing worse than any president ever. That's great. It's not good that we don't have a presidential election anytime soon. It's not good that we do not have snap elections in America, in Europe, or maybe Canada too. In a parliamentary system, you can just call elections. That doesn't work here. The president, unless somebody removes him, you know, the president is in power for the next 2.5 years. The good news is congressional elections happen in a few months, like 6 or 7 months. Thank you, Dolphin, for the gift. And he is in so much trouble. Republicans are doomed in the House of Representatives. And the Senate, thank you, Gene. Let's see. Everyone thinks right now that the Republicans are tied with the Democrats in the Senate, which should have never happened. Republicans should have kept the Senate. They should have won it by a mile. Anyway, he's in real trouble, so it's good. Anyway, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., I've got my coffee talk, or for TikTok, my coffee talk. Which is my hangout I do for the paid monthly subscribers. So that's everybody on TikTok who's a super fan, YouTube, the members, I think you're called, the monthly subscribers, everybody whose name is not black on TikTok, on YouTube. Substack, same thing, monthly subscribers, you guys know who you are, the paid subscribers, and Discord, same thing. And basically it's an extra show that I do on Saturday as a thank you for the paid subscribers. Otherwise, my show's free all week. You guys know that, including tonight. So let's get rolling. Please keep the gifts coming. TikTok, YouTube. I do this for a living, so thank you very much. I appreciate your gifts. And we are going to get rolling. So negotiations. Negotiations with Iran might be back on. You'll be surprised to hear that 1 hour before the stock market closed, Donald Trump announced, oh my God, we're sending our negotiators to meet Iran again. And Trump told some reporter who believed him, oh, Iran is coming with an offer that could end the war. I was going to make an obscene gesture with my hand. I won't do it. You know. Every week Trump does this. Every week Friday comes and Trump tries to find a new lie. Remember last week's lie? The Strait of Hormuz is open. Iran has agreed to everything. And we were like, what? Like, what? Actually, remember Trump did that a couple weeks before too? Remember? He said, oh, I agree. Iran came to us with a proposal. We agree on almost everything. That was the proposal that was horrific. I mean, absolutely horrific. And then Trump had to backtrack. Every Friday, he comes up with a new, oh my God, the war is over. So that the stock market goes up again and then it freezes for the weekend. Total stock manipulation. Now, it is also, as Kiza and others just said, it is potentially stock manipulation as well, meaning it is potentially somebody buying stocks and options and all these kind of things and trying to make the stock market jump or fall with Trump's pronouncements. And if somebody knows Trump is going to make that announcement, they go in and they invest before. And then Trump makes the announcement and the stock market goes doosh, right? Or doosh, either way. So very tricky stuff. Iran has reportedly dropped more mines in the Strait of Hormuz all week. Iran has about 200 mines. They put at least 20 originally. They've put more in the Strait this week. In other words, Iran keeps like amping up here, right? And they've got 200 more mines if they want to drop them, and they may. Reuters. So Trump is, God, you know, Trump is so pissed at Europe for not joining in his war, which, you know, who blames the Europeans, right? Trump invades Iran. Trump screws up the invasion. Trump keeps saying, oh, it was the perfect invasion. We won. But we're desperate for European help to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. By the way, which gets even more fun. Now Trump has been saying for the last 3 days, no, Iran wants the Strait of Hormuz open. Donald Trump wants it closed. The Strait of Hormuz is closed because Donald Trump closed it, is what Trump keeps saying, right? And we're all going, you're such a liar. Of course the Strait of Hormuz is closed because Iran closed it. Nobody believes, right? Not to mention, so Donald Trump begged the Europeans to help him reopen the Strait of Hormuz that was already open anyway, he claimed, and that he closed, right? Donald Trump says, no, I want the Strait of Hormuz closed. Then why did you strong-arm the Europeans to try to open it if you want it closed? And why today did we find out that Trump is planning revenge against the Europeans and NATO, potentially, because they wouldn't reopen the Strait of Hormuz that Trump closed on purpose and wants closed? We've talked about this before. Something that somebody had said, somebody in politics had mentioned this, and I thought it was such an interesting observation. And their point was that when you telling the truth is easy, because when you tell the truth, you don't have to remember what you said before, right? If you're telling the truth, you're telling the truth, right? Like if I tell you the truth about where I was born, it's very easy for me to tell you, right? I was born in the Chicago area. Because I was. I don't have to sit there and go, oh shit, I better write down that I just told them where I was born, so next time they ask, I get it right. You know, it's the truth. Unless you're having memory issues, you remember the truth. If you give a lie, then it's hard, right? If I told you I was born in Kenya, then next time you asked where I was born, I'd say, oh shit, I don't like to tell people where I was born. I always tell lies. What was the last lie I told, right? You get confused. This is the problem Donald Trump has, is when you tell a lie, you've got to keep track of your lies. If you're a liar, you've got to remember your lies, or eventually you trip up on your lies and you get exposed. And that's the problem he has with all of this stuff, is he lies so much that he just stumbles on it because he's not capable intellectually of keeping track of the lies, right? Anyway, I did Heidi, thank you. Or Heidi. So now Trump is all pissed at the Europeans for not reopening the Strait of Hormuz that he wants closed. And he's apparently trying to punish them through NATO. I want to read you this. It's from Reuters. Internal Pentagon email details options to punish NATO allies who the U.S. believes failed to support it in the Iran war operations. This is from Reuters. Some of the options Trump is now considering: suspending Spain from NATO. He can't. He literally can't. Somebody from NATO even spoke up today and said, yeah, there's actually no provision to expel anybody. He can't do that. He wants to expel Spain from NATO or suspend their participation. He literally can't do it. Reassessing U.S. This one's wild. Reassessing U.S. diplomatic support for European imperial possessions, including Britain's claim to the Falkland Islands in Argentina. So the U.S. does not support Britain's claim to the Falklands. Thank you, son. The Malvinas, as the Argentines call them. Remember, they went to war over that in the early 1980s, maybe 83, something like that. Or I shouldn't say 83. I always forget. Maybe 81, 82, actually. I forget the exact U.S. position. We do not recognize British sovereignty. 82, thank you, Tisa. We do not recognize British sovereignty over the Malvinas, the Falklands, but we've got some middle ground, like whether we believe in negotiation or something like that. So we don't support Britain's ownership, but we also don't support Argentina's ownership, right? Trump is reassessing that and considering supporting Argentina. I mean, it just, first of all, as we said, he didn't support Britain anyway. Second of all, you got to have to love this. So, I mean, look, I love Argentina. I worked in Argentina. I love my Argentine friends. Great country. But if we're talking geopolitics, if we're talking Machiavelli, if you've got Great Britain versus Argentina, who is more important to America as an ally, Great Britain or Argentina? This is like, you do not, thank you, Joy, appreciate the gift. You do not have to have a master's in international relations like I do in order to decide which country is more important to America, the United Kingdom or Argentina. Again, I love Argentina. You're wonderful people. I've been there twice. I worked there in BA, fabulous. But you're not as important to us as the Brits. It's ridiculous. But he's not just, he is vindictive, Bozy, but he's not just vindictive. He is trying to harm American national security. And that's the thing. At best, he doesn't care about American national security. At worst, he is trying to harm American national security. He's trying to destroy the NATO alliance. And you got to keep coming back to why. Why is Donald Trump doing things that endangers our country? Why is he doing things that makes it more dangerous for us in the world? Why is he doing things to destroy all of our top alliances with our friends, right? Things that can only hurt us. So, yeah, so that was one. He's considering suspending difficult countries from important or prestigious positions at NATO. Again, I'm not convinced he can decide all of them. He's not considering closing U.S. bases, and he's not considering withdrawing U.S. from the alliance. I mean, my God, I just, keep in mind, what did Trump do yesterday? Trump freaked out because the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, turned on him a week ago and defended the Pope, right? Meloni defended the Pope, and Trump got pissed at her, and she dug in, and all of a sudden Trump turned around yesterday and said, well, what if we kick Iran out of the World Cup and we give Italy Iran's position in the World Cup, right? Because Italy didn't make it. They didn't qualify for the World Cup. So Trump wanted to just break the rules and give Italy Iran's qualifying position in the World Cup because he's trying to woo them back because she stood up to him and he didn't like that. You need to stand up to this guy. I mean, granted, on this, he hasn't done it yet, but if he does try to do any of this crap, just keep doing what you're doing. If he declares more wars, don't help him. I mean, just like if he plays games with trade, you play games with trade. He's not your friend. Thank you, Eric. That'll get you. Oh, my goat's turned off. My thing's turned off. Where'd they go? Viewer wishes. Why did you turn off? There we go. Viewer wishes can't be changed during live. What do you mean they can't be changed during the live? They should be. Are they on? I don't see them. Are they on for you guys, the viewer wishes? I don't see them. Anyway, that was a goat. So pick which goat. You do see it. Okay, I do not. Which goat does it? Was that Eric, I think? Which goat does he want? Let us know which goat. Mods, keep an eye on it so I don't lose it. Actually, may be gone today, I think. Okay, good, they're up. Okay, I don't see them on mine, but TikTok being TikTok, whatever. Anyway, so but I think the thank you for the goat there, for the sheep. But yeah, mods, keep an eye that if Eric has said which one he wants. It's you got to stand up to this guy. He's not your friend. He's not your ally. He's not going to obey any trade agreements. He's not going to keep any military agreements. Let me put it this way. Feel free to enter into military or economic agreements with my country, but do not trust us with this government, right? Thank you, Eric. You're getting two of them. You get screaming goats for that one, Eric. At least I'm pretty sure. I can't see the thing on my page, but I'm pretty sure that's a screaming goat. So it is a goat. So you get to choose. We've got like a Christmas goat. We've got a Halloween goat that screams in Halloween notes, which is very cool. We've got a screaming pickle or yodeling pickle, which is not a goat, but it's part of the thing. Two goats. We can do two goats. Up to you. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick. But there's yes, yodeling pickle, Halloween goat, Christmas goat who doesn't have anything special, but he's kind of cool. Big goat who doesn't do anything special, but he's big and jingles. We have many different goats. Otherwise, I will just pick. I'll pick one. Maybe I'll just pick two. I'll just pick two. I will do Halloween. Well, the pickle, we haven't done the pickle in a while. This is true. Well, we can do the pickle. We'll do the pickle. All right. We'll do I was going to do the holiday double goats, but we could do the pickle goat. So this is for the gifts we have certain gifts on TikTok that trigger things. It's so obnoxious. And then it goes longer than you think. There it is. Thank you for that. It's annoying, but that's why I got it. It's literally a pickle. I mean, it's not literally a pickle, but it's literally a pickle. Anyway, but you get it. I think the Europeans are going to need to keep standing up to us. I know what I was going to say. So you have to trust that you can't trust us. If you, in other words, I'm not going to say you shouldn't do military and economic agreements with the U.S., but it's akin to doing one with Russia or worse. You are dealing with a bad faith actor. You're dealing with a country that doesn't like you in terms of our government, a country that hates you, a country that is happy to break the agreement at any time, and you've got to treat it that way, right? That if you are entering into any military or economic agreement with the United States, with Trump as president, assume that the agreement could be broken at any time, and maybe, and adjust your expectations accordingly, adjust whatever you've got to try to keep, protections to keep the agreement in place. But if it's worth it for you to enter an agreement that the other guy cannot be trusted and could break it like this, then do it. But keep that in mind, that whatever agreement you enter with Donald Trump and us, it can be broken like that because he just doesn't, his word means nothing. And he doesn't like you to the point of hating you. And you just got to keep that in mind as far as what happens next, Israeli intelligence thinks that Khamenei is dead. So remember, we killed the father. Trump killed the father, the Ayatollah, bad guy. And then the son took over, who's even worse. The Israeli intelligence now thinks the son is dead. They think the reason we're not hearing the son is because he's gone. Thank you. Eric is back with more goats. All right, we'll do more goats in a second. They think it might be Iranian disinformation put out about he needed prosthesis for his leg and his face and his hand. They think he's dead. Well, I mean, Israeli intelligence, Carol, let me put it this way. Carol says, do we believe it was Israeli intelligence? I believe that Israeli intelligence has the best intelligence by far in Iran. I also believe that Israeli intelligence has insanely good intelligence in Iran. For example, one of the things they did to prepare for the attack, they hacked Iran's traffic cameras. They hacked all the traffic cameras, and for years have been tracking all the government officials using the traffic cameras to keep a dossier of who the officials were, where they were going, what paths they went, what times they went to work, where they went to their families, so that they knew exactly where to hit them. That's insane. I mean, so the Israelis know Iran. The Israelis would know if this guy is dead, probably. Might the Israelis put out disinformation? Sure. Thank you, Sadie. In the same way that we might put out disinformation. So that's the thing. I would not look at it as, oh, I'm mad at Israel for what they did in Gaza kind of thing. That has nothing to do with this, as far as whether you can trust Israel on this. The only question is, would Israel put out disinformation to try to mess things up with Iran? Yes, in the same way that we would too. I mean, our government, well, even before Donald Trump, our government could put out misinformation about Iran to try to throw their government off guard and that kind of stuff. So hard to say, but would Israeli intelligence know if this guy was dead? Oh yeah, they're scarily connected, very scarily connected. Oh, a whale! Thank you, Eric. We haven't gotten a whale. We do a wave for the whale. We haven't gotten a whale in a while. Actually, again, I can't see what they are. Isn't the whale one of the other gifts? Is it a wig? No, is the whale the wig? I thought the whale wasn't the wig. Oh, it is the wig. Okay, I did not remember that. Maybe we have gotten a whale recently. There we go. My Donald Trump wig. I still have to get a brush for this thing. Here, hold on. Oops. Wait, there it is. There it is. It's my Donald Trump wig. Oh God. Anyway, actually, Dave raises a good point. Donald Trump dissing Britain while salivating about King Charles visiting. Yeah, Yeah, well, because Donald Trump really. Oh, that's right. The goats. I forgot. We did get 2 extra goats. That is true. We'll do the 2 holiday goats because, well, because Donald Trump is a narcissist who knows he's nothing, and therefore he always it's literally Fredo from The Godfather, right? Why don't you think of me? Why don't you? I'm good, or whatever the line is, right? And it's incredible insecurity mixed with incredible narcissism, right? And that's what you get with Trump. So King Charles coming, very important because no one thinks anything of Donald Trump, and he knows it. All the people, okay, Donald Trump's own voters love him. Donald Trump has no respect for his own voters. Donald Trump's voters are exactly the kind of people Donald Trump can't stand. The people Donald Trump wants is me. He wants New Yorkers. He wants Washingtonians of a certain type. White, upper middle class, right? He wants people highly educated. He wants people with money. I'm not really somebody with money, but you get my point. He wants the elites, the intellectuals. He wants the people in power. He doesn't want the blue collar overweight people. That's who he's got, but he doesn't have any respect for that. Right. He wants the Washington elite. He wants the New York elite. He wants the New York Times. That's why he gets so upset at the New York Times and CNN, because he wants the New York Times and CNN, right? So yes, real quick for Eric, thank you. Oops. One more time. Thank you, Eric. That's our Halloween goat and our Christmas goat combined. Christmas is regular. Halloween does the scary one, which I really like. Thank you for that. Oh, okay, the hat's coming off. Thank you. The hat, the hair. The hair is coming off. I know, I'm smart. Oh, it is smart. That's what it was. Okay, right. I'm smart. That also, look at the way he talks about everybody else being low IQ. He does it in a racist way, but he's doing it in a confessional way, right? You don't think I'm smart? You're low IQ. It's like, okay, Donald. Even the way he lies about Wharton, right? Donald Trump likes to pretend he went to the Wharton graduate, MBA school. No, he went to Pennsylvania undergraduate. That's a little different, right? I mean, that's like suggesting, well, like a lot of things. I mean, Pennsylvania is a good school. Undergraduate is not Wharton, right? It's different. It's just different. Anyway, what else we got? Saudi Arabia just backed out of a deal to provide $200 million in much-needed funding to the Metropolitan Opera. The reason, because of the war's impact on Saudi economy, they're pulling back on funding commitments. New York Times has also confirmed the story others are reporting, thank you, Marsha, for the gift, that the Iran war has depleted U.S. supplies of critical bombs and missiles, leaving U.S. commands in Asia and Europe less ready to confront potential foes like Russia and China. And the war is costing us $1 billion a day. We've got a lot of additional news stories here. Trump said yesterday that Obama, who, listen to this carefully. He was talking about Spirit Airlines, the airline that's in trouble, and whether he's going to help bail them out or something. Trump alleged that Obama, who left office in 2017, blocked a merger between blocked a merger. I'm going to start this again because it's crazy what he said. Trump said that Obama, who stopped being president in 2017, thank you, Marsha, blocked a merger between Spirit Airlines in 2024. Mind you, Obama wasn't president in 2024. He left 7 years ago. Blocked a merger between Spirit Airlines in 2024 and People Express that went out of business in 1987. So Trump goes, 2 years ago, President Obama was in power 2 years ago and blocked a merger between People Express and Spirit Airlines, except People Express hasn't been in business for 40 years. Nothing wrong there. Very, very, very high IQ individual. Oh, actually, this would be Boris Johnson. Oh, I've got a double wig. Ooh. So this is my Trump wig, and then this is my Boris Johnson wig now. If he ever comes back. We now have a Boris Johnson wig. What else do we have? We've got a lot of news, actually. The Justice Department. Okay, so those of you abroad may not, you probably do know. We are one of the few countries in the world that has corporal punishment. We execute people, right? murderers and things. You know, it's controversial here, but it's not as controversial as it is for the rest of you. We grew up with it, so we grew up with it. It's not as controversial here, to be honest. I mean, among some people it is, but across the board, it's not the same way like it obviously would be for you guys. What is controversial, Marcia, is for some reason, Donald Trump's Justice Department just announced that they are readopting the firing squad as a means of execution. Did I say corporal punishment? Capital punishment. Thank you. I'm not doing well with that. I knew I said, when I second I said corporal, I thought corporal punishment is hitting kids with your hand. Exactly. Beating them. Capital punishment. Yeah, not corporal. It's worse. Capital punishment. Thank you, Dave. Capital punishment. So, currently, up until now, I think, executions in America were probably, I mean, when I was growing up, they used to do firing squads, electrocution, poison injection, but also poison in the air. And I don't know what they got it down to, because they started getting rid of some of them. But they started getting rid of some of them, and for some reason, Trump's Justice Department is bringing back firing squads where they line you up and shoot you, because they think that's going to be a better way to convince people to not commit crimes. Like a firing squad is somehow going to make them less likely to commit a crime. It's very weird. Yeah, exactly. The rack is next. I mean, it's just very leeches, or not even leeches. I guess they don't use leeches. You have to get like scorpions going like Star Trek in your ear or something. Really, really crazy stuff. And again, as I always like to say, tell me how capital punishment helps us tame inflation. The dog is begging for food. Not yet, dog. Okay, can I tell you too, that was page 1 of my notes. I've got 4 pages of notes that I brought today, guys. We're going to see. We may or may not get through all the news. Maybe we will. But there was a, well, I never quite know how much news, because like how much, well, it's okay, because this is still worthwhile stuff, but I never quite know. Trump spent last night tweeting lots of crazy things. One of the things he retweeted, he shared somebody's tweet that he agrees with. Listen to this. Hillary Clinton, for this we do have to put on the wig because this is unhinged. So first of all, Trump tweeted a bunch of things from like midnight to 3 a.m. last night. He just went on a bender and was tweeting all sorts of just insanely crazy things, right? One of the crazy things he retweeted yesterday. Hillary Clinton funded, approved, and created the Steele dossier. Steele dossier was the document that brought together a lot of the whispers about Trump and Russia. Barack Obama called the shots, and Brennan, who was CIA director, CIA did the dirty work. The evidence is clear. Treason was committed, and now they must pay or they will do it again. Americans demand it. He's demanding that Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and the CIA director be arrested. Yeah. Then he posted at 1:13 in the morning. Again, 1:13, he's busy posting crazy stuff. This one he wrote himself. So, some background on this. Southern Poverty Law Center is a organization, very famous, took on the Ku Klux Klan. So I've got to get a hairbrush for my Trump wig. It's getting messy. Organization that took on the Ku Klux Klan. My Trump hair. Organization that took on the Ku Klux Klan, the neo-Nazis, lots of stuff, right? Great people. One of the ways they did it was with paid informants, just like the FBI does. They had people working inside these horrible groups that would slip them information, and they would pay them to slip them information about what these extremist groups, again, we're talking neo-Nazis, Ku Klux Klan, etc. Well, Trump hates the Southern Poverty Law Center because, obviously, the Southern Poverty Law Center doesn't like neo-Nazis and white supremacists and the Ku Klux Klan. So, you know, right? You can guess why Donald Trump wouldn't like somebody who didn't like the Klan, right? I mean, you know. So Trump now got his Justice Department to indict the Southern Poverty Law Center and claim they were, oh God, his spokeswoman today, they were funding the Klan and extremists. They were literally giving them money to hurt people. This coming from the white supremacist White House is just precious, right? So Trump says The Southern Poverty Law Center, one of the greatest political scams in American history, has been charged with fraud. This is another Democrat hoax, along with Act Blue and many others. Act Blue is a platform to raise money for Democratic candidates. They're trying to destroy that too because it's a successful means to raise money for Democratic candidates. If it's true, I want you to pay attention to what he writes here. About 1:13 in the morning, and I want you to follow the logic, okay? Southern Poverty Law Center, which is a group that monitors hate groups. They fight the Ku Klux Klan, okay? Trump is indicting them, claiming they're actually supporting the Ku Klux Klan, okay? That's what he's alleging. And says that if it's true that Southern Poverty Law Center is doing this, the 2020 presidential election should be permanently wiped from the books and be of no further force or effect. I don't know if I love the Roaches, by the way. I don't know if anybody likes the Roaches. Donald Trump, literally his tweets are something out of a Roaches song where they start singing one way and then the song just changes and goes, whoa, right? I mean, what is it? I'm not a bag of chocolate, more than a bargain to me. Anybody who knows the Roaches know what I mean, where every line changes into something else. He's claiming that if the Southern Poverty Law Center was truly funding secret informants to keep an eye on the Ku Klux Klan, for example, then this means we have to throw out the 2020 election. In what demented mind could you make a connection between those two? You know, I don't even understand that. I just don't even understand that. I mean, there's something wrong with this guy. Now, granted, he's a con man. And as a con man, he's used to lying, and he's used to being believed, right? Being a drinker is an interesting point. Somebody mentioned he may be a drinker. It has bothered me for years that people, whenever the issue comes up as to whether Donald Trump drinks, and I mean, you guys know Donald Trump. I think you will appreciate why this irks me. The issue comes up about whether Donald Trump is a drinker. And literally, journalists and everybody says, oh, no. He's a teetotaler. He famously doesn't drink because his brother or somebody was an alcoholic and died. And I go, so you mean the reason we all believe that Donald Trump doesn't drink is because Donald Trump told us he doesn't drink? Really? Really? I mean, really? Right? You get it. I mean, Donald Trump is our source for why we believe something? But it boggles my mind, and literally journalists will say this too. They'll go, I don't know if he drinks or not, but saying that, well, no, Donald Trump has always made clear he doesn't drink. Yeah, he also has made clear that he won the 2020 election. I mean, what's your point? He also made clear that he claimed Obama was born in Kenya. I mean, it just, come on. I mean, who knows? But I mean, please, because he says so. It's like, okay. This is interesting. Epstein update. Politico reports House Oversight Chairman Republican James Comer says members of his panel are open to a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell so that she can share her info with Congress. They're going to do this, guys. We already know Trump has floated it, right? And now we've got Republican members of Congress floating it too and saying, well, he's going, I'm not necessarily on board. But several members of Congress, Republicans, are thinking they'd like to pardon her. So they're putting it out there to try to build this up. Alexa, raise the temperature 1 degree. Intercept reports FBI Director Kash Patel disclosed in a 2005 letter that he'd been arrested for public urination. He also described a public intoxication arrest in 2001. Interesting because, as you know, he is suing The Atlantic for writing an article that says he has alcohol problems, and while he's been FBI director. I got to tell you, I don't know a lot of people who have DUIs, for starters, alcohol, and then public urination. I just don't know a lot of people that have these things in their records, but whatever. Polls. Okay, we've got a lot of polls I want to give you guys. They're very interesting. He's in trouble. For the first time in 16 years, today's Fox News survey has Democrats holding a 4-point advantage over Republicans on the economy, CNN reports. So just to reiterate, Fox News' poll, for the first time in 16 years, Fox News' poll gives the Democrats a 4-point advantage over Republicans in terms of the economy, in terms of who do you trust more. CNN also reports in another poll Trump's net approval on the economy. So once again, to remind you, net approval, I'm going to get the dog her little treat so I can give her treats while we're doing this. One second. One moment. You. So net approval is something. Oh, there you go, right down the floor. On the floor. There you go, right there, goofball. Oh my God, it's on the floor. Right there. There you go. Oh my God. Thank you. My dog's getting old. She can't really see treats anymore when I drop them. So I've got to like point them out directly. Or so she's, the last 10, 20 seconds was my dog like missing the treat on the floor. Hang on, I'm checking my thing here. The net approval ratings are something very important we use in polling to get a sense of just how popular or unpopular someone is. And what I mean by that, and I've explained this before. For example, it's one thing to tell you that this politician's approval, let's say approval rating is 50%, okay? And another politician's approval rating is 50%. And you go, okay, I guess that's not bad. Now, if you knew the one politician's approval rating was 50% and his disapproval was 10%, that's pretty good. Only 10% of the people don't like him. 50% do like him, but a lot aren't sure. That's pretty good. If you had a different politician and you knew he also was at 50% approval, but he was at 50% disapproval as well, that's a lot different, right? Half the country hating you is a lot different than 10% of the country hating you. If it's only 10%, you got 40% that you can potentially win back. But if it's 50% for you and 50% against you, that's a lot worse. Net approval is looking at polls and looking at the difference between the positive and the negative. So looking at the difference between the approve and the disapprove, and what you want is a positive number. You want the approval number, 60%, to be higher than the disapproval number, 40%. So if that were, in fact, the numbers, 60% approve, 40% disapprove, you would have a plus 20 approval rating, right? 60 positive, 40 negative. Difference is plus 20. If you had 60 negative and 40 positive, 60 disapprove, 40% approve, you'd be negative 20. So I'm going to give you the positives and the negatives, but it lets you understand really how you're doing in the polls. Trump's economic net approval. Trump's net approval on the economy. April 2018, he was at +2. January of 2025, so January of last year, Trump was at +6. Now he's at -32. Trump went from +6 to -32. I mean, huge swift in the polls in voter satisfaction on the economy. Now, the economy is always the number one issue when it comes to elections. So huge deal with that. Always the number one issue. More on the economic net approval. Looking at other presidents. CNN's Harry Enton, who's very good, says Trump has the worst presidential net approval on record ever. On the economy, Jimmy Carter, 1978. These are the worst the other presidents had. Jimmy Carter, 1978, -22. So his positives were 22% below his negatives, right? Below his negatives. So Jimmy Carter, -22. Bush, 2006, -25. Joe Biden in 2022, -25. Donald Trump today, net approval on the economy, -32. He is more disliked than, or he's in worse trouble than Biden, Bush, or Carter on the economy. And Carter, famously bad on the economy, Jimmy Carter. The reason, Harry Enton says at CNN, is independents. Independents, net approval of Donald Trump. April 2018, 0. So independents were split 50-50 or 40-40, whatever, on Donald Trump. January 2025, a year ago, +1. Same thing. Independents were basically split on Donald Trump even a year ago. I'm laughing. This number's insane. So a year ago, the difference between the positive and the negative, the approval and the disapproval for Donald Trump on the economy among political independents was +1. So it was like 41 approve, 40 disapprove, right? So pretty split. Today, the number is -55. The difference between the negative and the positive, the disapprove and the approve, -55, which means the disapproval is 55 percentage points higher than the approval from tied. He's always been tied with independents on this. I mean, for the economy. Horrific. I mean, these are horrific numbers. Cook Political Report. 68% of independents believe Donald Trump has failed to deliver on cost of living promises. New Reuters poll. 78%. I'm hitting the mic. Sorry. 78%. Reuters, 78% of voters say gas prices are a very big concern for them, including 73% of Republicans. Listen to this. 55% of Republicans say Trump is to blame for the rise in gas prices. 82% of independents, but 55% of Republicans admit that Donald Trump is to blame for gas prices going up. A G. Elliott Maris poll, 1 out of every 5 2024 Trump voters supports impeaching Trump. 21% of Trump voters support impeaching him. That is huge because typically you get nothing. Typically you get nothing with that, right? I mean, it's just, oh yeah, we talked about that yesterday, Brad. Yeah. Trump's little crazy 500% thing. What else we got? Fox. Fully 55% of Americans say Trump does not have, okay, this came via Fox News. Fully 55% of Americans say Trump does not have the mental soundness, thank you, Chazak, does not have the mental soundness to serve as president, up 7 points from 2024 and near his high of 56% in 2023. But 55% of Americans say he doesn't have the mental soundness. Jim Vandehei is the guy who created Axios, very important political publication here in Washington. He did an interview today. I want to read you a couple paragraphs from the interview because he analyzes what the polls really mean. And I think it's interesting because he's very good at this. I did, Janine. Thank you. Listen to this. Trump still has most Republicans with him, but even that number is sinking. And I think the biggest alarm for him and for Republicans is they look at the House map and it looks almost impossible for them to keep control of the House. They look at the Senate and they start to look at states like Iowa, Ohio, Alaska, Texas, Maine, all of which should be very, very winnable, maybe not even competitive, and they all look suddenly in danger for Republicans. To me, the most interesting thing is talking to people around the president. Their language and body language has changed markedly in the last 2 months. They know they're in a huge hole and it's going to be really, really hard to get out of it. They don't even really defend it anymore. They understand that we're here by a series of choices that the president made by himself. How to prosecute this war was his choice. To do tariffs the way he did was his choice. To unleash ICE into neighborhoods before ICE was properly trained to do was his choice. To then promote that in a very chest-thumping type of way was his choice. And now Republicans are having to pay for that. And I don't think you're going to see Republicans in Congress necessarily turn on Trump in force. But I can tell you right now, there's a tremendous amount of pressure on the people around the president to change his cabinet, to get some more people in there, some fresh blood, some clear thinking, like that's going to matter. Or they worry they're just going to get wiped out. And as we're reporting this morning, day one, Democrats will impeach him. I don't think he cares that much. He's been impeached before. He'll survive it in the Senate, but that's the fate. And he can ignore, oh, listen to this. And Trump can ignore the subpoenas he's going to get from Democrats in the House, but his friends and family can't. All those companies can't. Like he's heading for a political hell, and that's going to be tough. Now, one of the senators today, I'm forgetting, was it Chris Murphy, I think? One of the senators today tweeted and said, which was great, he was last night, that Ellis boy, the one who bought CBS and is buying CNN, held a... they held a special little dinner for Donald Trump to suck up to him. And the Democrats in Congress tweeted and said, enjoy your dinner because as soon as we take over, we're going to break up your company. And I was like, yes. Now, let's see what they can do. They may be able to cause problems. Let's see. Hopefully they can cause problems. And at the very least, the next Democratic president needs to investigate the entire Ellison empire for divestiture to break up the entire thing. There's more. More stories. Mother Jones reports 518,428 children have died of preventable deaths in the year since Elon Musk disabled USAID. Department of Justice is expected to drop its criminal investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Remember, Trump was going after Powell because Powell wouldn't lower interest rates, so Trump accused him of crimes, fake crimes, and then they tried to indict him, and that didn't work. Well, Tom Tillis, a Republican senator, said, I'm going to block Trump's new Fed chair until he stops going after Powell. Well, today they announced they were going to drop the investigation of Powell, but then they threw in, but if we get new evidence, we'll go after him again. If I'm Tom Tillis, I'm going to say, bad answer, because they're trying to screw Senator Tillis now. They're trying to basically get him to drop his objection, pass their new guy to the Fed, and then they go after Powell anyway. The taxpayer payoff approved by Trump. So somebody had tweeted this, the latest payoffs. We've talked about this before, but I'll give you again, $1.25 million for Carter Page. Basically, these are lawsuits against the federal government, and the federal government gets to settle the lawsuits if they want. That means Donald Trump gets to settle them. Donald Trump gave $1.25 million of your money to Carter Page, who was involved in all the Russia stuff in the first weird guy. Donald Trump gave $1.25 million to Michael Flynn. Okay? Donald Trump gave, I didn't know about this one, $5 million to the estate of Ashli Babbitt. Ashli Babbitt was one of the domestic terrorist insurrectionists who got shot and killed at the Capitol when she tried to break into the private area that they had the members of Congress in a closed-off area, and a security guy was there with a gun saying, don't come in, don't come in, don't come in, and she forced her way through and she got shot. They gave her family $5 million of our money, Donald Trump did. And as you know, Trump has sued the federal government for $200 million, right? $200 million. He sued them, and that now is going to be, he's going to settle with himself, right? That's the first one. And then, hang on a second here. There we go. Settle that money, and then Trump himself has sued the government for $10 billion. And Trump gets to decide whether he gets to settle with himself for $10 billion of your money and my money, right? Crazy stuff. Oh, but there's more. Bernie Sanders tweeted today. This was pretty good from Bernie. Bernie tweeted, the Trump family has made $4 billion off the presidency. Here's what Senator Sanders said. Crypto, $3.02 billion they've made. Persian Gulf deals, $425 million. Qatari jet, $150 million. Legal fees, merch, $127 million. Mar-a-Lago, $125 million. Corporate deals, $91 million. Hanoi Hotel, $40 million. Truth Social, $25 million. Don Jr., $19.6 million. $4 billion these guys have made. Hunter Biden, alleged to have made $24 million. Alleged. And by the way, this doesn't even include Eric Trump's deal yesterday. We found out via Fox News that Eric Trump was the chief advisor to a company trying to get Pentagon money, and they got $24 million from the Pentagon. Yeah. Oh God, I've got a couple things to show you, and then we'll hang out. Listen to this. So Trump we've got like major economic crises in this country, right? We're at war. He's spending a horrific amount of money. Somebody complained that the reflecting pool by the Lincoln Memorial was ugly, so Trump is changing it. They're putting blue bottom of the reflecting pool at the Lincoln Memorial. This is what they're doing to it. First of all, we're at war. Second of all, we don't have any more money. We have inflation going through the roof, and this is what this guy is focusing on. Yeah, they're making it he wanted it to be the blue of the American flag, which I'm not even convinced that's what that is. I mean, yeah, actually, you're right. I didn't even think of that. It looks like a swimming. You're right, Bip. He made it look like a swimming pool. It looks like a swimming pool. Again, how much of our taxpayer money has been spent to do this, right? There's more. There's a very funny video of the Polish, I always forget this. Oh my God. Help me out, guys. I'm going to totally forget who this, oh my God, I'm forgetting who this is. Help me. All right. I always get Duda and Tusk mixed up. Oh my God. I always get them mixed up. help me out here. This is the Polish leader. I'm forgetting. Help me out, guys. Help me out. This is which one? Which one? I'm totally spacing out. Which one is this? That's not the foreign. No. I know the foreign minister. That's not the foreign minister. That's Tusk. Okay, it's not the foreign minister. The foreign minister is Sikorsky, who I know. I've met him. Donald Tusk. Okay, this is Donald Tusk. Is he prime minister? I always get confused with your guys. I know it's going to be my government soon too, as European Union. So he's giving a press conference today. Very anti-Russian, and prime minister. Thank you. And he's talking about how now that Viktor Orban is gone. This is the first meeting they've had with the European officials where there hasn't been a Russian in the room. But you have to, joking about Viktor Orban not being there, but I have to show you this because it's hilarious. Look at his eyes too.
Yesterday you could feel a huge relief among leaders because it was, for the first time in years that there were no Russians in the room, if you know what I'm talking about. But
wait for it.
Joking aside, hi. Oh, hi.
Watch his eyes.
Are you sure? No, it's a joke.
I think one of the reporters said, "Are you sure?" That was Fico, the prime minister of Slovakia, who's a pro-Russian puppet. Who literally, as he goes, "Oh, there are no more Russians in the room," and then Fico walks by and goes, "Hey." I mean, it almost made me wonder if the video was AI. Supposedly it's, everyone's been, big people have been sharing it, so I do think it's real. But funny as hell to then have Fico come by. Funny as hell. And you see Tusk's eyes kind of go, and I think one of the reporters goes, "Are you sure?" And that's when he goes, No, just a joke. The women's tennis thing, I found video. We talked about this yesterday. Trump has the Georgia women's tennis winners of something come to the White House, and he gets a picture with them. And the picture puts the women in back, crowded together, and lines the men, the coaches, up in front of them. So Trump and the coaches are blocking all the women who are in back, scrunched together. And one woman, you even see her trying to peek around for the official photo, right? And I showed you how effective, because the women were the ones who won. The video is even worse. I want you to keep an eye on this. Note whose hands Donald Trump shakes. Okay? That's it. That's it. No more. All the men got handshakes. See, that's it. All the men get handshakes. Look at this. Every single guy gets a handshake. Not a single woman. All five guys. The women were the ones who won. The women are the ones who won. Yeah, well, they're all wearing the Donald Trump uniform. I mean, it's absolutely sickening. Oh, the women are behind. They put the women on a little pedestal scrunched together behind. Yeah. Show you guys. Now, I may still have the picture from yesterday. Hold on. Sasha, come on, cut it out. Let me see if I've still got the picture from yesterday. Ugh, I hate this. Hold on a second. I hate how sometimes my iPad defaults and it shows me the picture, my oldest pictures from 10 years ago rather than my most recent pictures. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. I should have it, actually. There's the video. Oh, come on. Here it is. This is the official picture they released. I'll show you guys in a second on YouTube and everywhere. This is the official picture they released. All the guys lined up. My favorite is the blonde woman. I mean, the black woman is kind of hidden. The blonde woman literally has to move her head because the guy's in the way blocking her. All the guys lined up to block the women. I mean, It's the women's tennis team. That's the people that are being honored. All the women hiding in back are the ones being honored. I mean, it's just unbelievable yet believable, right? I mean, as always, sadly. Who are the men? We think they're the coaches. We think they're the coaches. This is, remember Trump, Gilead, remember Trump fired basically the Secretary of the Navy, or Hegseth did, for kind of bizarre reasons. Hegseth fired the Secretary of the Navy in the middle of the war, and exactly, Tabitha, every time I bend down, I'm giving the dog a treat. Fires the Secretary of the Navy. This is the new acting Secretary of the Navy, this guy. I saw this video the other day, and I meant to grab it. Listen to this half-a-minute interview with him.
Again, it's, we can't let it turn like this. There's a place in Monterey, California called Lovers Point.
Yeah.
The original name was Lovers of Christ Point, but now it's become, they took out the Christ, it's Lovers Point, and it's really, Monterey is a very dark place now.
Yeah.
A lot of witchcraft and
Right.
the Wiccan community has really taken over there. And we can't let that happen in Virginia. Virginia is, again, it's, we can't let it turn like this. There's a place in Monterey, California called Lovers Point.
Yeah.
The original name was Lovers of Christ Point, but now it's become, they took out the Christ, it's Lovers Point, and it's really, Monterey is a very dark place now.
Yeah.
A lot of witchcraft and
Right.
the Wiccan community has really taken over there. And we can't let that happen in Virginia.
He's an anti-witchcraft activist, apparently. Also, he's a religious activist, I would say, which I find kind of fascinating, too. Right? Like, it used to be the Lover of Christ Point, or whatever the hell it was. And, like, I don't know that I want a religious activist as Secretary of the Navy, right? I mean, the whole point, that was our acting Secretary of the Navy, the guy he just put into power, right? I mean, yeah. Very weird stuff. Oh, the chat may have frozen. It's back now on YouTube. It seems to be back now. You're right. I was wondering why it wasn't progressing, but I don't know. Yeah. The final one to show you, is he nuclear friendly? I know. The final one to show you is, oh, maybe that's it. Oh, I think that is it. Yeah, that's it, actually. So tomorrow is the White House Correspondents Dinner. Keep that in mind. That's going to be a mess, too. Boy, they're walking into that one. So White House Correspondents' Dinner, it's the big get-together they have every like once a year, and it's the White House correspondents, and they have a big dinner. The president gets invited. There's usually a comedian that comes who pokes fun at the president. Well, Donald Trump has refused to come because he, whatever, because he's a snowflake. And this year he agreed to come. And honestly, I don't think that, considering he's making an all-out assault on freedom of the press, I'm not going. I was not invited. I have been once, but I was not invited. Considering his all-out assault on the press, a lot of reporters are saying it's really inappropriate to have him be the honored guest. And he's going to come and he's going to make a blistering speech attacking the media, and he's going to leave. He's going to leave before they can do anything to embarrass him. Yeah, and no comedian, and exactly what Patty just said, no comedian this year because they didn't want to embarrass him. They're not going to have a comedian. They're going to have a magician or something because they didn't want to embarrass him. Honestly, the whole thing's embarrassing. They should have said, no, we're having the comedian. If they make fun of you, they make fun of you. Big deal. Stephen Colbert, oh my God, Stephen Colbert did his. Stephen Colbert's was the most famous. Oh my God. Amazing. Literally a magician. Yes, that's the thing they're going to do this year. A magician. Hey. There we go. Anyway. Ooh, la, 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 la. So remember, guys, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, we've got our hangout for the monthly subscribers. So that's super fans on TikTok, YouTube members, Substack monthly members, Discord, etc., Ko-fi, etc. So join us on all of these, actually on TikTok, YouTube, Discord, Substack. Yes. Hey, Sasha, stop. She's begging for more treats. Will you stop, please? Oh my God, cut it out. This is the problem. I give you a little and then you want more. What a surprise. What a surprise. Anyway, thank you for the fireworks. Sorry, I was looking down at the dog during that. Sorry about that. Thank you. Appreciate that, Stormy. Oh, are we hit? Well, we're going to hit 100,000 taps. That's for sure. We're at 99.5. We're definitely hitting 100,000. Keep the gifts coming, guys. Another 10 minutes. What else? What else, guys? No Republican comedians? Well, I mean, there are a couple. That guy, what's his name? The guy that was, I'm forgetting his name, Adam Carolla. Thank you, it's me. Oh, very nice gift. Thank you for that. Like Adam Carolla. oh, the other, who's the other, that other, Rob Snyder. I was thinking of him. Yeah, Rob Snyder. Thank you, Brown Eyed. Oh, and then somebody else too. What was the other? Wait, the little, oh, that was Blue. I was going to say that was Blue. Thank you. I saw the person running. Dennis Miller. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan can't decide. Dennis Miller. Yeah, he's another one. Thank you, Eslyn. They don't have a lot, and they're not great. I mean, this is the problem overall. It's like in the culture at large, it's kind of interesting. Caroline Levitt. That was funny. But in the culture at culture at large, you've got a lot of Democrats. They always like to make fun of it, but you've got to ask yourself why it is that your movement, that people who are more enlightened, people who are more intellectual, like right, the universities, they always complain about this. People who are more educated don't tend to like you. People who are more in touch with their spirit, with civil rights don't like you. People who are more in touch with the arts, the humanities, what makes us human, don't like you. It's interesting. It's kind of interesting, Anyway, Roseanne Barr. That's true. Roseanne Barr. Roseanne was funny before she went loopy. She was funny though. But then she kind of went a little nutsy cuckoo, unfortunately. Yeah, arts and entertainment are liberal at their core. The question is why? Why is it, and frankly, universities, why is it that places of learning don't tend to like that political movement? It's very interesting. It seems like the enlightened people tend to gravitate to Democrats. I just think that's interesting. They like to make fun of it. Democrats ought to be proud of it and say, well, yeah, the people who are educated, the people who learn more, the people who are smarter like us. Interesting. The more you learn, the more you like our movement. Interesting, right? The more you care about people, the more you like our movement. The more you're in touch with humanity, the more you like our movement. Okay. I don't know who that is, Doughboy. No, I don't know who that is. Exactly. You need empathy and introspection. True. It's weird to be against education. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But they are. Anyway. What else, guys? A couple more minutes. Anything? Otherwise, I'll wrap it up. Unless we got more. I've gone through all my news, as you knew. We did a lot today. We had a lot of news today. Taking your niece to Chippendales? Oh, God. Greece? Oh, I don't know where I would live. I don't know if I'd live in Greece even. I don't know. I mean, I could live in Greece. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do first, well, eventually, I've got the dog right now, and she's getting older, so I don't think I can really go. I don't trust having anybody watch her, to be honest. But when I no longer have a dog, I will probably go and do many months abroad with like Airbnbs in France, Italy, Greece, and kind of start with that, go 3 or 4 months to one country, maybe come back, go 3 or 4 months to another, and just kind of enjoy living abroad for a while. I mean, back and forth, live in the U.S., of course, but right. And then kind of go from there and see, Yep. U.S. military ended up using Ukrainian anti-drone tech. Yeah. There was something in the paper yesterday about it. Yeah. Portugal. Yeah, I mean, I just don't really have any. I've never been to Portugal. And I don't speak Portuguese, so that's the only thing. Like, I do speak Italian, I do speak French. My Greek is not bad. It'll get better again. But I don't know, I don't think I would do Portugal. I think I would, and the problem is it depends on taxes too. It really does. Greece's tax situation is okay for 15 years. France's is great. Italy's is terrible. Terrible. And I'm just not convinced I want Italy taking half of my retirement money. You know what I mean? Like, or however much it would be. I'm just like, I don't think so. Yeah, I've always liked them, Janine. I've always been into languages. No, I will visit Portugal because I've never been. I will do that. New Zealand. I've never been to New Zealand, and I've always wanted to go. I've never been to Australia either. I've got to visit both. I've never been. It just sort of never, it's halfway around the world. It never worked out. I've been close. I've been to Indonesia twice, so I really don't have an excuse. I've been close twice, but I would like to. I'd like to go. Hey, you. A little more. There you are. A little more. Portugal, yeah. I mean, but again, depends on the taxes. It also depends. I just don't like I've got family and some friends in Greece. Italy, I don't, but I do love Italy. Paris, I've got a lot of friends in Paris. Paris is expensive. It's very hard to find housing. Apparently, like horrific to find an apartment in Paris now. But I do have a ton of friends, which would be really nice. Like moving, I learned that living here, like when I moved to New York, it's weird moving to a new city. It's not a nice thing to move to a new city. If you've got a ton of friends there already, it helps a lot. Exactly, a lot of options with the EU passport. Estonian taxation, climate. Well, something was it colder than here? Well, that's like everybody keeps saying Montreal, and I'm like, I don't want to move somewhere colder than Washington D.C. or colder than Chicago even. My God. So we'd have to see. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Or I keep doing what I'm doing here where, maybe I go for 4 months at a time and, go for because that's why I'm not just stuck to going 3 months every half a year. I can go for 4 months at a time, enjoy it, and go from there. Hell, I can go longer than that. I can go 6 months at a time if I want. Just do a very long-term Airbnb or something, and just go, because that way I can kind of live, or I can live anywhere I want. I mean, well, again, the European passport will help too. Whether I do a show depends when I go. Like, I'm not going anytime soon, I think. Who knows? So I don't, oh my God, you are terrible. So I don't know. I mean, whether I do the show depends when I retire. I don't know, But I think for a while, at least, I probably don't think I would do the show every night necessarily. You know what I mean? Because I want to work. I don't want to, if I'm living in Europe, I don't want to work every day. But, it might, maybe I do twice a week or something. I don't know, right? Something to kind of keep doing it but not be beholden to it kind of thing. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. We will have to see. The time change is always weird too, You never know though. We'll see. Not doing it yet, but I do. I get my citizenship in a little over a week. A week from Monday? 2 weeks from Monday? No, 2 weeks from Monday. Yeah, 2.5 weeks. Yep, 2.5 weeks. And then then there's a little bit of a process, and then I apply for the passport, and I'll show my passport when I get it. That's not going to be for another 3-4 months probably. So, but at least I get the citizenship officially in 2 weeks. So I'm like, yes, woo woo. I know, long live Sasha. Yes, I'm not looking forward for Sasha to leave me, but as long as she's here, I'm also not going to be doing any big trips. So Anyway, thank you, kind. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to sign off. So thank you for being with us all week. Remember, tomorrow morning, again, if you are a monthly subscriber, I will be here on TikTok, YouTube, Discord, Substack for the monthly subscribers tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, U.S. That's Washington, D.C. or New York time. So join us. The dog grabbing things out of my hand. Otherwise, I will, I've made that mistake before, kind. Otherwise, I will see you guys Monday. Or, as always, unless something hugely crazy happens, Would I go to Ukraine? Oh, absolutely. If the war ends, certainly. I mean, I might go even if the war doesn't end, but I would absolutely. Oh, I'm dying to go to Ukraine. Are you kidding? I very much want to go to Ukraine. Yeah. Of course. Anyway, guys. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I'm going to sign off. Thank you. Discord. I'll start with you guys. By Discord. Thank you. All right. We did okay without Ashli #1 today, didn't we? All right. YouTube and Substack. Everybody have a good night. Thank you. Amanda, it seemed to go pretty well, I think, without Ash. Ashli #1. Ashli Prime. She's Ashli Prime. Without Ashli Prime. All right. See you guys.